Hey guys, I just wanted to check in with you guys and tell you a couple things about this week that you need to know. Here's our Moodle page, and I just want to be sure you know you have a report due on Saturday. Okay, here we are in week 4, and this is the first of your composer reports, Bach or Handel. That's George Frederick Handel or Johann Sebastian Bach. It's due Saturday. You can see some of the things here that are the stipulations for this report, okay? You can also gather some information from this film on J.S. Bach or this film from George Frederick Handel. And I would definitely make sure you do the Baroque readings, which hopefully you did already, since most of you took the quiz already. That way you can have a little context. The Camion text is also a very, very good um, very good source for either of these composers. But the thing I want to encourage you to do correctly at the first of your tries for this, hopefully you won't have to do a second try for this composer report, but it is to cite things correctly in your report and do a correct um, ending reference page. Now, this is music appreciation. I don't really care how you do it, MLA, APA, whatever, Chicago style. These different styles of citing information in your report have to do with what kind of school you're a part of in your later studies. Like if you're a psychology major, you may need to do APA. In high school, you may have done MLA. Chicago style, they're just different ways of showing the references that you've used to write your report. All right, so the main things I need you to do is, let me open up something here so you can see. Here's a student report from last semester, okay? And this is called an in-text citation right here. Obviously, this person most likely did not have the information already in their head as original and unique information that they figured out that would have given them the ability to write this sentence. Let's look at this together. His music is unique in its combination of polyphonic texture and rich in harmony. This is not something that I would expect you to know from all your long research in music up until this point. All right, so this is a quote from one of the sources that this person used, and you obviously want to say, hey, this is really good information, and I'm going to put it in my report, but I need to show that it's not my information. So this is very normal for anyone to do in a report, and it's completely fine. And so since it's lifted directly from that source, this person has put quotes around it, around the actual sentence they used, and then in the after the sentence in parenthesis, they put the author and the date of publication. So just the last name of the author. This is from our textbook, and the date of publication. All right. So this also should be used for paraphrasing. You notice in these next couple sentences there are no quotation marks, but these thoughts did not come out of this person's brain. He did not discover this information by himself. He used Marshall and Walter's article or book from 2018 to help him with this information, or help her with this information. And so they told me where this information came from. It's not just to say, hey, guys, this isn't my information, this is this person's information. It's also for the reader to be able to say, I'd like to know where this information came from, and then look that information up, and as well as anything that's maybe connected to it that I may want to research further. Okay, it's not just the honesty aspect, it's also giving the reader, which would be me, but anybody else, giving the reader some more information about where to find additional information in this part of the report. Okay, so I expect your report to have a lot of these things in it because I know most of your information came from other sources. So please be honest, please be helpful, and do your in-text citations. All right. So like I said, it does not have to be perfect. It if you use any information from those films, it does get a little hairy with that. The in-text citation does get a little longer, and I'll show you what to do with that in just a minute. Okay. So at the bottom of your report, by the way, make sure it's the right amount of words. That would be horrible for me to have to take off points from your grade for that. But over here, when I pasted this, the formatting didn't really come across very well. So normally this would be called reference page, and it would be center justified. Like I said, it's not like super important for it to be exactly that. I'm trying to impart the importance of you doing this next part correctly. Okay, so here are the references that this person used. Here, it looks like they used one of the films that I suggested, Johann Sebastian Bach, biography.com, A&E Networks Television. This is the date of airing or production, I'm not sure which, but here is the web address, right? So here is the particular reference for our textbook, and here's that other text that they used to help them write this report. It looks like it was a Encyclopedia Britannica article from this web address right here. So these citations here happen in a particular way depending on what style you're using, right? So here is the author's last name, comma, first name, period. Then the name of the work. This should be capitalized. And practicing getting this right will behoove you for your future college endeavors. All right, so there's some information about the 11th edition. McGraw-Hill is the publisher. That's the year of publication. Okay, so that's really confusing if you've not done this before. It's really easy though if you go up to the references part of our Moodle page, and there's a link I've given you under resources, and it says, first of all, in-text citations and explanation. That's very helpful for you to view that video, but also the citation generator, which is a little link that'll take you here. That's my cat, sorry. You can just choose one of these, APA, MLA, Chicago, whatever. If it's a book, click on the book tab, and then start with one of these entry modes. Autofill mode, you can find the ISBN, or you can find it by title and author, or do a manual entry. And you can let's try this. Let's try the autofill mode. Let's look for Camion, search books. Wow, there's a lot of Camions. So you may have to manually enter it. Manual enter mode. Find a book. You can still search, it looks like. It'll prompt you to put the different things in the different fields, and then it'll generate something that you just paste into your paper, and it'll be correct. I highly suggest you doing this. Like I said, if you don't put the period after the author, if you don't capitalize this or capitalize that in your reference listing, there's not going to be any points off. You can quote me on that, but if you're missing something, you will definitely have points off. If you're missing in-text citations, if you're missing anything on your reference list, or just don't do a reference list, I will fail you if you do not have a reference list for this paper. You will receive it at 0. If you do not have any effort to show that the information in your report is someone else's, and you have no in-text citations, and you have sentences that were very clearly above your knowledge level, and you've lifted them from a report or a film or a book, and you've just thrown them in your paper like it was your book, or like it was your work, I will fail you for this report. Especially, may not give you a chance to give it a second chance or to correct your errors, and I will refer you to the academic dean for plagiarism. So it's very important if you have questions to email me, and first of all, make sure you have a very good effort for what you do. Some of you are already doing this, and I really appreciate that. You know who you are. Great job. Okay. But if you have any questions, don't wait till the last minute. I'm not going to answer your questions. That's Saturday at 5 p.m. Talk to me now if you have any questions. Make sure that you have a strong effort to do what you have been clearly explained and requested to do. And I think we should be good, okay? So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next weekend. But just wanted to make sure you guys have a strong effort for this first report. Just a little, um, a little hint though. You make sure that these reports, any other project, is done on time and thoroughly with the directions followed. You will pass this class. The quizzes seem like a really, really big deal. The tests seem like a really, really big deal, okay? But the project category is equal to the quiz and test category put together. So make sure that these projects are done well and thoroughly, okay? So really looking forward to seeing you guys. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.